Hi everyone, I just wanted to give you some background information on our Diagnosing Diabetes lab and just give you a look at how we set it up here. To give some context for the experiment, I teach 9th grade, 5 sections of 9th grade Principles of Biomedical Science, and we are doing this to enhance our curriculum. We've just learned about a patient who has type 1 diabetes, and we've gone through the differences between type 1 and type 2 diabetes, and I'm having my students do this experiment in order to look at the way a glucometer works, because that wasn't part of our curriculum. To set up the experiment, what I did first was I took the dextrose powder that was sent to us, and I decided to split everything in half because I didn't need as much, especially with the 30-minute setup. So what I did was I took 250 milliliters of just red food coloring and water, and I put it into 3 containers, A, B, and C. For patient A, my students are going to be testing all 3 patients. For patient A, I measured out 0.4 grams of the dextrose powder. For patient B, I did 0.6 grams, and for patient C, 0.25 grams. 30 minutes before I have my students test their patient's blood sugar, I'm going to pour the sugar into the water, set my timer, mix it, and then I'll aliquot those samples out into these test tubes over here. So I just want to show you the lab setup that I have for my students. So I have 8 stations, 8 student stations with 4 students at each station. And each station is going to get this. They'll get a bucket that has the glucometer in it. And the glucometers we're using, we'll put the link in the description below, but we have CareSense, and I bought them on Amazon. Our school bought them on Amazon. And I'm also giving the students the control solution so that they can test the glucometer as one of the initial tests. So they'll have that in their bucket. They will also have one container that has 7 strips. So 1 strip for the initial testing with the control solution, and then 2 strips per patient sample. And then I'll have aliquoted the samples out into A, B, and C, and I'll do that 30 minutes prior to the students testing those samples. And that's it. Thank you. Okay, so in class today, the way that I have it set up, and I'll share the Google Slides that we used, I had the students first test the control solution that came with the kit. And so I taught them that they needed to make sure that they inserted the testing strip with the lines facing up into the opening of the glucometer. And then they would see the dashed lines and then this symbol so that it was ready to test. I had them just place 1 drop of the testing solution. I forgot to say you need to shake it up, and then put 1 drop onto your lab table. And then I showed them that they are going to dip it into that spot until it beeps, and then they would wait for the reading. And then we compared that to the sample amount that was supposed to be on the side of the strips, and it says it should be between 120 and 162. It was 135, so we know that this glucometer is working appropriately. For the rest of the patient samples, what I did was I had the students have a new strip per patient, and my groups tested each patient twice. So they put a new strip into the glucometer for each patient, and then they dipped it just directly into the solution. You'll have way more solution than you need for your patients, but it seemed to work pretty easily for the kids to get accurate results.
Wait, so how do you...
Yes, it is.
106.
156. Can I see the barcode?
Did you say 106 or 157? No, he's grabbing it.
Number, you already did one with the first.
No, I did the test.
Oh, she got me coffee again.
We're doing 17.
Where's Samantha?
Oh my goodness.
Can you start guys our vlog? showed in your thing. What? She got 161. That is bad. She has diabetes.
151. 151. I'm here, just like.
Yeah, just point onto your hand.
My life.
Average.
Wait, we have any
That.
because of the
Yeah, that's the average. What?
Get the angle.
1 or
51.
51.
51.